نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man nama an salatin aw nasiyaha falyusalliha idha zakaraha." So when someone forgets to pray or overslept and the time passed, they should pray whenever they remember. So when someone wakes up late and they had a plan to wake up, obviously, they put the alarm clock on, they had all the preparation for the Fajr prayer. But obviously, as human being, many a time we fall short of our duty, so we may miss it, not because we delayed ourselves from sleeping or we didn't prepare for it, rather, we had all the necessary requirements and adjustments made for Fajr prayer, but we couldn't wake up. Then, whenever we wake up, we should pray Fajr prayer straight away. If it is before Dhuhr time, then it must be two sunnah to Fard, inshallah ta'ala. Then there's no sin, and that would actually be, according to some narration, considered a prayer done on time, as though the person hasn't even missed his prayer. So that is why one should just wake up, and the first thing he does, goes straight to the toilet, wudu, and come and pray. He shouldn't delay it. So that is for the Fajr prayer. As long as he wakes up and then he remembers and he prays and he had all the preparation done, that Fajr would be considered done on time, inshallah ta'ala, not as qadha. But this should be a rarity or accidental happening rather than a daily problem where people make a habit of putting alarm clock for, say, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, because they have to go to work and they wake up at 7 o'clock, and Fajr obviously is gone. They would just pray at that point, saying that we couldn't wake up for Fajr. That is not allowed at all. That is not what the hadith means. You did all the necessary precautions and preparations for prayer, and yet you couldn't wake up. As a human being, this can happen, but not that it happens all the time. Rather, and not that you slept only at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, or too late, which is, according to your habit, it would be almost impossible to wake up in next 2-3 hours time. Then you actually didn't prepare at all. Even if you slept like 3-4 hours and you can't wake up in 4 hours, then that's your problem. Unless it was a valid Shari reason. For example, in summer you would go to bed after Isha, which would be quite late anyway, but you try your best to put the alarm clock maybe more than one, maybe a bit distant away, and then you really intend to wake up. You made dua that you wanted to wake up. Not that once you delayed, you just delay every day, or you delayed and then when you wake up you feel actually much more joyous to think and to find out that actually Fajr prayer's already been gone. Then you say Subhanallah, and that's obviously a bad heart. You would never plan, never intend to wake up. So we have to be very, very careful about this, inshallah ta'ala. Anyway, so the bottom line is you must pray for that pray that Fajr for that day straight away, rather than adding it up to the missed prayer of your life. Because this, inshallah ta'ala, would be not a qada prayer, because there is an excuse, a valid excuse, inshallah, and you would be rewarded as such. So don't put that in that category. And likewise for any other prayer. It is not just for Fajr, for any prayer. So do that straight away as soon as wake up. Now, especially for Fajr, since you have got a bit extra leeway and time hasn't passed. But if you've passed the time, for example, you did for Dhuhr or for Asr, and when you wake up it was already Maghrib time, then obviously you already had to your account more than 5 prayers that you have to do as a qada, then you do not have to do that in order. But this particular Fajr prayer of that day is different, because when you wake up it's most likely that you would wake up before Dhuhr time anyway. Obviously, there are a few people that I know they can sleep up to asr from whatever time they sleep over 12 hours or something. That's obviously abnormal and pathological sleep. That's not, for a normal person. So that's a different matter. I'm talking about normally people would be able to wake up way before Dhuhr in the next 2 3 hours time, especially if they put alarm clock for Fajr. How could they not be waking up in an hour, 2 hours, maximum 2 3 hours later than the planned time? So that is for that situation. As regards other prayers, so there's a concept called Sahib Tartib. We cover that separately, inshallah ta'ala, where someone who is very regular with his prayer, and he has not got more than 5 prayers due upon him, less than 5 or less than 5. So if they had about a day worth of prayers to be made up, then they must keep that order all the time. Even if the time of Asr prayer is there, they have to do their Dhuhr no matter what. Even if it means that they could miss their Jama'ah, they have to do their first, because they have to keep that tartib. It's called the order. For those who have more than 5, between 6 or more, then it will be too many, considered too many for that person to be able to make up. So they are allowed, if the time has elapsed, time has gone for that one prayer that they missed of that day, to be added to the actual whole lot of their missed prayer. Obviously, it's a grave problem that people have accumulated so many prayers. We should try our best and try to get, inshallah ta'ala, all those prayers sorted out ASAP. May Allah give us tawfiq to understand.